This band. I like this band. I wrote it down so I don't forget who they are. Oh, I remember. Fucking.
We're back with one of the hardest in the scene, one of the most extreme, one of the kings of grind that's out there putting out heavy music that'll make your greasy grandpappies dip Philippator heart thing break. This guy comes at you hard. He's so hard when he's harder than me with a metal mom. He's harder than me with your metal aunt. This guy brings the action extreme. They do things different down in Australia. They do it different down there. You watch koalas fight kangaroos. They use Vegemite as toothpaste. They go to McDonald's. No, they don't go to McDonald's. They go to Macca's. They go to Macca's. You know what that is? No, you don't, because you don't do any research in this world, and you people got to get your act together. It is a pleasure. It is an honor. We have King Parrot in the house. How you doing, brother?
I'm great, man. It's the best show I've had in my life. That was incredible. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I mean, when you're dealing with King Parrot, you're dealing with some of the most extreme, fun music in the scene. I love extreme. I love fun. How do you create this kind of music? Where do the influences come from? What made you say, I want to go out there and terrorize some ears?
Well, I mean, going back to the early band, I think we just really wanted to sort of create something that was obviously unique and a bit different. And it was like our own kind of thing. So we wanted to pay respect to a lot of the Aussie underground bands that really were influencing us when we were growing up. Obviously, we get all the American stuff and all the European stuff and all that filters through. But being from Australia and being so far away from everything else, we've kind of, what I've found is over the years, like the Australian sound and the extreme bands that come out of Australia really create this different kind of sound that is, it's just like different places, different sounds, and Australia's got our own thing. So our goal was to create something that was sounded Australian, that had an Australian approach, as taking it all seriously and whatever with the music, but also having a great time, having some fun with it, and being able to tour it as well was a big part of what we set out to do. Is like we wanted to be able to tour internationally and do all that stuff. So we've been able to do that, and it's been amazing. It's been an amazing experience being in this band, and I guess one of the main goals as well is we wanted people to pay attention. We wanted people to take notice of what we were doing. So with the live show, we were like in people's faces right from the start, and making it extreme and making it like a spectacle.
Right. Yeah, and King Parrot's reputation is just intensity. When you go into that show, it's going to be extreme. It's going to be a fun time. And the legend just watching you over the years, you guys, just especially here in the States, seeing how you guys just broke through and more people, the amount of respect that you get. And Australia, I know a lot of Australian metalheads, and I got to tell you, they're pretty crazy. They're pretty intense. They're really good people. And just like you in the band, they have a great sense of humor. And I wish we had more of that in the world, where people realize, right, it's cool to have fun. Everything doesn't have to be serious all the time,
Yeah, totally, man. And it's not really our, I guess being from Australia, it's kind of in our nature to take the piss a little bit. So that's what we've kind of always done. And, you can tell by our videos and what we do on the creative side in that area is definitely leans towards all that kind of humor, horror, whatever. And I think it seeps through into the live show a little bit as well. Like, while the live show is pretty intense and in your face and extreme, there's also a lighter side to it as well, which is kind of fun, and certainly the audience is having fun.
Definitely having fun. And the name of the new album, is it The Young People's Guide to King Parrot? I apologize.
The Young Person's Guide to King Parrot. Yeah, we ripped that straight off King Crimson.
That is awesome. It is such a great title. It is such a great thing. Yeah. And just like you, I love having intensity. I love having fun. Last night, there's a band, Lich King, in Northeast here in Massachusetts.
Oh,
and
I know him. I know him well.
You know Lich King? Why am I doing that? Lich King, everybody knows you, man.
I've been friends with Brian for a very long time, and we've actually played at RPM Fest a couple times. His festival that he does up in Massachusetts. And yeah, we've played with Lich King. We've actually done some recording with Brian many years ago. We demoed our second album at his house.
Small world.
Happened to be up there. Yeah, so man, I know the Lich King guys well. Yeah.
Oh, dude. So I got to MC Lich King. I got to MC RPM Fest last year, and I'm on stage for every band, and I'm screaming thrash. My thing on the internet is I scream fucking Slayer into people's faces. They make me do it. I'm that guy. So I'm up there and they're all making me like do a bands before I'm getting off stage, and I'm up there telling everyone to bang their mothers. I'm just out of control all the time. But I became friends with Brian and Mike and Lich King and all those guys. And last night they played, dude, it was one of the greatest things. Mohegan Sun Casino, and they have this venue in the middle called the Wolf's Den, right? And it does free shows. And it was Lich King and Mourn the Light. And to hear that thrash music in the casino with all these fuddy-duddies walking around, losing their pensions and everything. And they're like, song 5, I'm like laying low back there. Like people, they love showing me their Slayer shit, all this other stuff. And all of a sudden he grabs the mic and he's like, Metal Horror Mad. Because I'm like, I'm going to be in control tonight. I'm not going to drink heavy. I'm not going to, Metal Horror Madman's in the background. It's Joe tonight. Joe's just going to chill. Metal Horror Madman, where the fuck are you? So I go running to the front of the stage. I'm screaming thrash at the top of my lungs. I'm screaming Slayers. I got followers that show me their Slayer tattoo. They cover United Forces, SOD, and it was just it was magical, and we're screaming word for word. And I just love to see this type of music find those different venues and different channels. Have you had any venues that you've played that you're like, hey, typically a metal band wouldn't play here, and King Parrot's played?
Oh yeah. Now I don't know the movie Priscilla. It was like a old it's Australian film, got Guy Pearce, and it's about cross-dressing and people dressing up in drag and all of that sort of stuff. And there's this place out in the middle of the desert in Australia. It's called what's the place called? I think it's called Broken Hill, maybe. And it's famous for this. It was where they filmed this movie, and so they've left the band room like it's like a drag show almost, and there's like these pink sequin curtains and stuff, and it's ridiculous. There's all this memorabilia from the movie and stuff, and then like they booked us to play there, and we drove up to the desert, like up through the desert, like dodging goats and kangaroos and emus and shit. And it was fucking wild, and we drove all the way up there. It took like 8 or 9 hours to get up there, and we get into this venue, and it's like it's in the middle of the fucking desert, but it's like pink sequins, and it was crazy. Ridiculous. It was like we certainly should not have been in that place, but we did it. It was fun. It was great. It was ridiculous. But that's certainly one example of a place where I was like, what the fuck are we doing here?
I love to hear those stories, and that's why I had to bring it up to you about this last night, because I love watching this type of music in a place that you just like, this doesn't belong, because I'm one of those people where I feel like everything should branch out into everything. Like I love all genres of metal. I love other 80s pop. I love blues. And I hate that people like to build walls in this world, right? And tell you like, this doesn't belong here, and you don't belong this way if you don't dress a certain way. And you need to like this type of music and not that. So I love that you're another band that's like, we play places, like we'll play anywhere that we want to play. And sometimes that just gives such a dynamic show, and it just really helps the scene for a lot of bands. Right. A lot of bands are afraid to even try and get in those venues, I've noticed. They feel like we have to go to the same places like that we're supposed to. And I love when you do something like that. That's all. I wish I could have seen that show. That is crazy.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think sometimes here in Australia, too. I mean, it's not like America where there's so many cities to play. You know, you can just go on a tour and do 30 or 40 shows. Like here in Australia, there's like the 5, 6 main capital cities that you can play. But if you want to play all the time like we do, we got to get out into these like regional B and C market kind of places where you're out in the sticks, man. You're out in the countryside, or you're out in the desert, or you're out in, it's like off the beaten track kind of thing. So we do a lot of that stuff when we're touring here in Australia. We go out and play in these places where most bands don't go to. And that's always been a real staple for us. It's like, and it's sort of how we've kind of built up our stage show, and how we've built up being able to sort of play more regularly,
Right.
build our following up here in Australia, is because we do take the time and make the effort to get out to those places. Like, we just kind of do that work that most bands aren't prepared to do. And then that holds us in good stead for when we come over to America and we want to go and smash out 30 or 40 shows in a row on a tour.
Yeah.
We've got that behind us.
Oh, yeah. Because I heard too, I'm like over there, they'll say bands that maybe play in front of a few people here sometimes too, because a lot of bands don't come through regularly, right? So they could play also some of these larger venues where, in here in the States, that we could play every 5 seconds. There's a venue all over.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people were telling me that too, which is crazy. And just such a rabid fan base for metal. Such a rabid fan base of metal. Like, you think of Australia, people don't bring up metal right away. And I'm like, put it up there. They've got some of the most loyal fans I've ever seen. And you were saying too before, some of your influences besides music and everything, different movies, different horror. Where do you get your influences from there? I know you mentioned one movie. Are there some other ones that have really kind of impacted the band that you go, I really got some great ideas from?
Oh man, I think there's like, I don't know if you've seen our video for the song Dead End. We totally rip off The Shining. So
that's right.
That there's all that sort of stuff. Like so much horror stuff.
Yep.
So much Australia. There's so much like wacky, weird Australian stuff that you can check out as well. I mean, we did on the last video, like sometimes when we've made our music videos, we kind of tip the hat a little bit at some at classic films that we love. So on the last on this last record, we did a video for the song "Fuck You" and the horse you rode in on, and we ripped off that scene from the Trainspotting where the guy jumps down the toilet. And we recreated that whole scene, man, and then and we cut a toilet bowl in half, and we made this ramp, and we had to do a lot of research. And our prop and video producer Dan Farmer, like, he went above and beyond, and we created this whole fucking thing with a ramp and a cut to it was, and we had to like work out how we were going to jump into the toilet to make it look realistic, and then we went to my friend's pool and we blacked out the pool so it looked like we were swimming in the sewer, and then we made like 200 fake turds and like threw them all in the pool so it looked like we were swimming through shit. And I don't know if you've seen it, but if you haven't, you should check it out. It was a fucking lot of fun to make. So we're influenced by all sorts of stuff, and I think you can see that when you look at our music videos, that we appreciate film, and we appreciate all mediums, and we're not influenced just by metal bands. We're influenced by all sorts of stuff, and I think that comes through in the music as well. Like, we're not like just a typical metal band. There's like rock and roll influences in there. There's punk rock, there's grind, there's thrash, death metal, all of that stuff, and it's all like a culmination of all of that stuff that's in there. And while it does come across as very extreme, I think you can hear that we're not just a metal band. Like there's some bands you listen to and you go, they're just a metal band, right?
Right.
I think you can hear that we're not just that.
It's so true, and I hear with your music completely. And I love because it's almost like to outsiders that don't understand music sometimes, and they'll just hear this one thing and they'll just be like, it's just this loud noise. I'm like, no, there's a groove in there, there's fun in there, and I love myself. Like, I'm a huge Duran Duran fan. I get hungry like the wolf, ladies. I don't know what to tell you. I want to dance in the sand, and I love Duran Duran. And I'll do that when I'm making my content sometimes. Like, I'll do a video maybe. What's the hardest death metal song ever? And then I'll be out in the snow in short shorts and a tank top playing some Duran Duran or something, because I think that's metal. I always try and tell people being metal to me is just making everything in your life metal that you want to be. You don't have to only like certain bands or a certain genre and things of that nature. And when you're telling me all this, the accomplishments, the touring, the videos, the albums, what is your favorite thing to do? Do you prefer recording an album, being on tour, making a video? If you had to pick where you go, this is what I really enjoy out of the three.
I would say, well, it's tough. I do love touring. I love going out there, and just the fact that we get to go around the world and go to all these different places. Like, being in America and traveling around, there's nothing quite like it. It's a really unique thing to do. It's like you get to go to all these different cities and see these little different snippets of all the cities. And because we've done it so much over the years, we've got friends in all these different places. And it's such a cool thing to be able to come back and visit all these friends that you make along the way. So I would say, like touring is definitely one of the things, I love traveling. So one of the things that I love the most, but that's not I love being creative. I love writing music. I love writing lyrics and putting songs together and doing all that stuff too. Don't get me wrong. But the touring thing has always been a big part of what this band is.
That's awesome to hear. And for bands that are just getting started, when you went on your first tour, is there something that what breaks my heart a lot, what really does break my heart, is I watch creators or watch bands and something gets a little tough in the beginning and they just quit, right? Because they got to overcome so many hurdles, timing, you could be losing money right in the beginning, like all these different things that are going on. What tip would you give to a new band that is trying to get on tour, they're trying to put it together? What's the biggest hurdles they're going to have to watch out for?
Yeah, well, I relate to. Most of the bands that we've played with over the years don't exist anymore. Like some of them stick around, but like a lot of the bands that we were coming up with when we first started, they don't exist anymore. And I understand it's not an easy thing to hold a bunch of people together in a group and have a common goal. It's not easy. It takes some very careful consideration. It takes understanding. It takes open communication, but also like to be able to set goals for yourself and be able to sort of go, okay, well, this is what this band is doing, right? If you want to play in a band for fun or fuck around with your mate in the shed or whatever you want to do, you go and do it, But if the goal is to tour and do all this stuff, you got to make sure that people are all on the same page, that you're all together, you're all in it together, and once you can, and sometimes people will bullshit you as well. You can't, like, oh yeah, no, I want to do that. Yeah, I want to do that. And then they do it.
Right.
And they're like, oh fuck, I don't want to do this. It's too hard. It's too much. It's not for everyone. It's certainly not for everyone going out on the road and touring and doing all that stuff. It's grueling at times. And you have to really love doing it to want to do it like that, and be able to get through from traveling around in a van to getting to that next mid-level where you might be able to get a bandwagon where you can actually sleep in the bunk, and that even just getting from that point to that next point takes a lot of time for most bands, to be able to try and get to that point where you can upgrade your vehicle just a little bit. You know what I mean? Let alone to a tour bus. Like, so it's a big undertaking, and there's got to be a commitment. And I think one of the things that if you want to actually do it, you got to treat it like a job before it becomes your job.
Right. Okay.
And you got to be able to network. You got to be able to talk with people and get out there and get amongst other bands and trade shows and say, hey, you guys come down to our city and then we'll come up to your city. And when you're getting started and stuff like that, I think it's really important to network and get out there and support the scene and support other bands and help each other out, because you all got the same goal. And I think one of the things that drew me towards music in the first place was just not being competitive like sports and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah. It's
not a competition, it's like, let's help each other do what we want to do and try and make it as easy as we possibly can for each other. This is not a competition. This is creativity.
Oh, dude, and that's great advice, and that's what the scene needs more of all the time. And I'll tell you, in the content creator world, unfortunately, there's a lot of still bickering and jealousy and almost like that 80s metal thing, right, where everything was a competition. And I'm not like that. Like, speaking of that Lich King thing, like last night, I advertised for them nonstop because I thought it was just so important for the scene to get a band like that in the middle of a casino. I just thought an accomplishment like that. And Zach's up there telling people, go bet fucking 21. He runs off stage. He tries to play a slot machine, but he couldn't get back in time before the vocals needed to kick in. And as like, Brian's up there making his fucking faces, and then he's going, my hip hurts, and then Zach's yelling at him, going, I got a fucking motorcycle. It was so much chaos. Sorry, I'm talking about this again. I was just so excited from this thing last night. And just to tie it into what you said, right? So I'm out there and I'm pushing it, and there they are. They give me the shout out and they get me involved in everything, and that's what this is supposed to be. Is everybody in this scene is out there. In a scene that we don't get a lot of the respect, right? People just stereotype everyone. It's a metalhead. And like we talked about earlier, I think music is just this noise stuff and there's no flow. And you got to be there for each other. Like there should be no infighting in the scene. And that's something that really, really bothers me. And when you go out on these tours and work with other bands, does that ever become an issue where you're with a band that maybe has they start getting some friction with you and you're like, oh, we got to finish this fucking tour now? Or is it pretty much go smooth like that?
Like I don't think it's hard to be decent. It's not. Yeah. I think it takes more energy to be an asshole.
Yep.
Than it does to be like a good person. And people. Yeah, I think it's. I mean, for me personally, I just like think about the way that you want to conduct yourself and how you want to be treated and treat others accordingly. It's not rocket science, If you want to make it difficult on tour, that's easy to do as well. Like people can make it difficult, not helping out and being lazy and being a bum and whatever. Like there's people like that as well. But I always just try and reflect back on why I do this, and why I want to do this. And this has been like my goal and my dream my whole life, is to be able to do this. So when I see other people doing what they do, I just like, you know what? Do what you fucking want to do. Be how you want to be. That's cool, because I'm going to be like this and I'm going to do it like this because I fucking love this. And this it means so much more to me to be able to fucking do this and do it properly and do it the way I want to do it and keep my eyes open and learn different, like new ways of doing things and more efficient ways of doing things and better ways of doing things by watching people that have done it more than me or learning. And, I just try and be humble and respectful, and anyone else can do whatever the fuck they want. But from what I've seen, and when I've seen people like be dicks or act, like huge egos and all of that shit, that just looks harder to me. That just looks fucking harder to me to be able to sort of keep up that act and that facade. So I just, whatever, fucking do whatever you want. But this is what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, I got it, man. And that's just it's a great message you just gave. And I had one incident one time with a band I looked up to, that a band that I grew up really loving, and then met the person in real life, and it was just an asshole. It was a dick, and it was like. Yeah, and then I go, you know what? Like, I still love the music. I still love the music. I don't like the person, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong. It's not going to change my view of how that music impacted my life.
Right.
I get it completely, and that's the message, guys. You got to be kind to one another out there, especially in this fucked up world right now, run by assholes. We got all band together, and speaking of bands, King Parrot again, one of the most fucking intense bands you'll see out there. They're just slaying the fucking world, slaying the world the way I slay fucking pussy. These guys can't fucking stop. They won't be stopped. It is unfucking stoppable. New album's coming out, Matt. When's the album coming out? Where can everyone find it?
The album's out. The album's out. A young person's got it. It's out. It came out in June. It's fucking ready. You can go and buy it. You can get it at housecorerecords.com. And there's some video. We've got a video for Fuck You and the Horse You Rode In On. We've got a video for Get What You Give in the first track. We've got a video for Target Pig Elite. We've got a video for Look Away, I'm Hideous. And we've got a new video coming like in the next week or two for the song It's a Rort that we just filmed at this awesome festival here in Australia that we played last weekend. And I just got a rough edit from our video guy, and it looks fucking unreal. So we're going to put that out just to help pump up this tour a little bit. So whenever that's ready in the next week or two, we're going to unleash that on the American people. So, keep an eye out for that as well. But you can get our new record and merch and all that shit at Housecore Records. I think it's just housecorerecords.com. Yeah.
Housecore Records. Go follow him too on fucking Instagram. Anywhere you could go find King Parrot. And that's what I meant to say. When was the video coming out? I'm like, the fucking album's fucking insane. I will tell you, Matt, I am a child when I talk to people that I really do look up to. And I was very excited about this, getting to talk to you. And I'm so fucking excited right now. I'm probably going to go make a video hyping up the fucking tour and King Parrot on it. And I'll tag you in it. And I'm acting like a real fucking lunatic because I got to pay respect to one of the King Kings of the Extreme, one of the nicest guys out there. Just real. I love meeting real people and getting to interview you and seeing how real. It just makes me so happy. It makes me because, like I said, I never know who I'm going to talk to and how it's going to be. And your message is awesome. Your music is awesome. We all love you. We all love the band, and I hope to run into you one day. I'm fucking. Who knows? Maybe they'll be at RPM or something. Who knows what happens there? I'll scream a fucking.
We're coming. We're coming up. Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. Yeah, we're coming with. We're playing with Guar and Soulfly in like maybe 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. We'll be up in Boston.
Okay, I gotta go check my dates, then, dude. Yeah, that's fucking sick. I'll come by and say hi, man. That's KingParrot.net/tour. Yeah, KingParrot.net/tour's got all the dates for the Guar and Soulfly tour coming up, and we've got we're doing a few headliners. I think we've got New Orleans and Savannah, Georgia, and Colorado Springs, but all the rest of the shows are with Guar and Soulfly, and we're definitely coming to Boston. I know that, and we're playing all around New England. I think we're doing like Albany, and we're doing. I think we've got a show in Hartford, Connecticut, and all around that, all around there. Yeah. And all the dates are on the website. I'll be able to catch one of those. I'm right in the center of all those places. You're in the center of the music scene. And anyone that doesn't like King Parrot, fuck you! Go fuck yourself! That's my message. You support the band. You support Matt. It's been a pleasure, dude. You're a legend. It's been a great talk. I really love it, man. Thanks a lot, dude.